If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. It is now finally here. Gunna just dropped the track list for his new album, Drip Season 4, coming out this Friday, January 7th. Over the course of the last week, we've gotten the announcement for this thing. We've gotten the cover art just covered in a video today by this really talented artist named Daniel Arsham, and I think it looks really cool. It's the statue of Gunna, and it just sets the vibe for this thing to be like a really, not just another Drip Season album, but like an actual big album that I was really excited about. But now, y'all are here for the track list. Let's actually look at the track list and what tracks, what features Gunna has put on here. So this is it. This is the track list. This is DS4, Drip Season 4, Gunna's new album coming out this Friday. As we can see, there will be 20 tracks on this thing. I'm always very skeptical when it comes to the length of these projects. I think 20 tracks is quite a lot. This goes in the direction of like a flooding the market just playlist. It was kind of clear that Gunna was going to go this route. I've, talked with you guys about this. Some of y'all left comments saying like y'all want at least 20 tracks because we've waited 2 years now ever since Wanna dropped that I wasn't a fan of, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm really skeptical when it comes to this, but Gunna was going to do this anyway. But let's actually look at the tracks and what we can learn from them. Let's start with the first one. Let's look at the titles of the tracks and then also who's featured on there. First off, we have Private Island. I think this was a leak. I think we've heard this in some of the, snippets that we got so far for the album, and I thought that sounded pretty cool. Next up, we have Pushing P, which is obviously the single that he used in the trailer so far with Future and Young Thug. This will probably be the big single off of it because he's just used it in 2 different videos now already teasing the album. And this, he's always using this Pushing P and this whole turn with the P and the emoji in all of his posts. He took to Twitter to even say, before I tell y'all, what do you think Pushing P means? So this says, some concept is behind this. So Pusha P featuring Young Thug and Future is second on the track list and is always the track that, he was promoting this thing with. Third track is Poochie Gown. Then we have Mop, another track with Young Thug that was to be expected. That we have, Thugger on here more than once because, their relationship is really close. They've worked on Slam Language 2 together, played a huge role in that album. So it was clear that Thugger was going to be on here. Next up, we have Thought I Was Playing with 21 Savage. I'm really excited for this one. 21 Savage is always someone who I'm very interested in hearing the feature from. I think he's someone who's evolved so much as an artist over the course of his career. We just got, that new single from him, No Debate and Big Smoke. And No Debate was one of my favorite 21 Savage songs we've gotten in such a long time. So he's in a rare form right now. And I think, him being on here, this could be a banger. Next up, we got the actual big banger though, which probably going to be the biggest song on this album because it's a Drake feature. Pussy Power featuring Drake. The title of this thing is kind of weird, but, it's no surprise that Drake is on here. It was kind of clear that Gunna was going to have a Drake feature on there because, they worked together on Slam Language 2 as well, and we've gotten leaks about them working together, so this was only, obvious that Drake was going to be on here. This, I call it, is going to be the biggest track on this thing. It's probably going to do the best commercially. It's probably what people are going to gravitate towards and make TikToks about or whatever, but yeah. Pussy Power featuring Drake, also on here. Next up is How You Did That with Kodak Black. I'm excited for this. I think, Kodak Black is someone who, sometimes can really carry a track, sometimes can really mess it up. I don't think there's going to be something crazy, but just a solid track. Then we have some solo tracks, which also, can't be missing from a track list. Usually, some features carry Gunna, but he can also go pretty hard solo. We have A Lot of Cake and Living Wild. I feel like I've heard Living Wild before, but I'm really not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, and if y'all know anything more about a possible leak for that. Then we have You and Me with Chloe Bailey. That's going to be really interesting what that's going to sound like, but I'm open for it. I'm here for it. Then we have South to West, another, solo track, and to see what that sounds like. We can't really tell a lot about the solo tracks, to be honest. Then we have 25K Jacket with Lil Baby. honestly, a Lil Baby feature is always something that I'm hyped about. I just know that the last couple of features that Lil Baby has done for Gunna have not always been like, the craziest innovative stuff. Lil Baby is someone who has the potential to completely make a song, shout out Hurricane, Kanye West. But sometimes it's just like a basic Lil Baby feature, like we had that Blindfold track on Wanna. I just hope it doesn't end up being another track like that. Then we have Too Easy featuring Future, one of the singles we got for this thing, or actually the only single we got for this thing, because 9 times out of 10 is not actually on here, which I'm really sad about, because that was a really great Gunna track. I thought Too Easy was, it's a TikTok song. It was clear that he was going to do something like that, but it's featuring Future again. So again, another Future feature, so 2 Thugger features and 2 Future features. The next one is I Don't Know That Bitch featuring G Herbo. G Herbo is always someone that I'm looking forward to when it comes to a feature. I thought his last solo record was pretty solid, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Then we have Flooded. Feel like I've heard this one before. Correct me if I'm wrong about the leaks, about the unreleased stuff. Then we have Life of Sin featuring Netchi. Now, these two have worked before. They obviously have a very close relationship, so this was just, an artist that Gunna was trying to put on. Then we have Die Alone featuring Young Blue and Chris Brown. There's going to be somewhat of an R&B type song. Young Blue is someone who's been coming up over the past 1 or 2 years, really, cutting into the mainstream, especially with that Drake feature as well. And Chris Brown, I wouldn't personally get a Chris Brown feature in 2022, but if Gunna had the connections and was going to do it, then shout out to him. Next, another solo track, Missing Me, then So Far Ahead and Empire. I think there's going to be a track with 2 tracks on there, so actually we have 21 tracks, or it says So Far Ahead greater than Empire. I'm not really sure how he wanted to stylize that. And then the last track is a Too Easy remix with Future and Roddy Ricch as a bonus track. As I said, just the usual, Too Easy track, but with that Roddy Ricch verse, which I thought was actually pretty good. And to have Roddy on an album is always something special for any artist, even though his last album was pretty weak. Now, this is the track list. This is the track list we got for Drip Season 4 dropping this Friday, January 7th. I've kind of given my thoughts on, these tracks and these titles and these features along the way, but now I really want to know what you guys think about this, because some of the features were to be expected. I'm talking about the Thugger feature, I'm talking about the Future feature, about the Lil Baby feature, maybe, the 21 feature, but some of these, like, we had a Chris Brown feature on here, we have a Chloe Bailey feature on here, so all in all, the track list is really star-studded, and something that is just, people are going to look at this and be like, yo, I want to listen to this album, and you could honestly, be a competition for The Weeknd this Friday with his new album, Dawn FM. But I still think The Weeknd is going to do better. But at least Gunna has really, put out a track list that's really solid. But yeah, now I want to know what you think about this. What do you think about the track list, about the length of the track list, about the individual titles of the tracks, and of course about the features, which is the big thing on this track list, obviously. So all your thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.